So I decided to quickly make this emergency Bitcoin video to let you guys know what is going on the Bitcoin price action and why there's so much buzz online right now that Bitcoin's bull run is about starting. Yes, actually, we have to look at the macro charts and stuff. The Bitcoin bull run is we're actually on the verge of the bull run starting, but I still want to tell you to trade with caution. I'm going to be giving you some pointers, some important pointers as to why I personally am choosing to enter into a long position on Bitcoin right now, and also why my stop loss is going to be very tight on this particular trade. Now, let me explain this to you. If you're seeing my screen, you can see that we actually have like this dome, this sorry, yeah, more like a dome, like an arc, like a semicircle that I've put up here. We actually use this kind of dome to ascertain the edges with which a certain price can tend to play around in. All right, but I'm going to be showing you something in this as well that is actually very, very important. I want to make this video very short and very fast because it's an emergency video. So if you look at this right here, let me try to draw it out for you guys. If you look at this dome, I drew this dome here, and you would see that the edges of this semicircle are served as an ample source of resistance. All right, it has served as resistance on, I mean, more than two occasions. It has served as resistance here, that served as resistance here, resistance here, resistance here too. Okay, because that is still a rejection zone, and we seem to be pushing above this right now. So if I were you, what I would be looking for before entering into a Bitcoin long position, by the way, I'm on the weekly time frame, we just seem to be trying to push above this dome. So what me I'll be looking for personally is to see a close above this zone, then a retest into that zone, and then see much more prices towards the upside. This is how I'll be trading Bitcoin conservatively if I'm going to enter this trade. But because of fundamentals, macros, and we know the role of the American, economic role and how it plays on the crypto space, and with the president being presently bullish on crypto, um this might actually play out sooner than expected. And sometimes when this happens, when it plays out, you don't tend to get that retest that you're looking for. You don't get to see that retest. That means that retest back into that particular zone. I'm trying to draw it back out. You don't get to see the retest back into this resistance zone before this. Sometimes you just see the price just go upward like that. And that is why people call it a bull run, because you can't even stop it in its tracks. Now, all right, like I said in the beginning of this video, I want to show you why I personally am entering into a long position. There's something called price action trading, and if you're doing price action trading, you most likely will be looking at a close above candlestick as your trigger for your entry. I want to zoom in for you to understand better what it is I'm saying. Now, you can use a close above as a price action entry condition for your strategy for price action trading, or you can use a bullish engulfing pattern. All right, now this is the weekly time frame, and if we look at this, we have formed a very nice flag pattern on the weekly time frame. I'm trying to draw it out here for you. This is the flag right here. Okay, flag pattern, and a flag pattern is typically a bullish pattern. All right, like even if we take this to the highest eye and draw this like this, we still have a valid flag pattern scenario on the weekly time frame, and we have closed above this flag pattern. Now this is a pattern based entry that I'm explaining here. I'm going to explain why me entering a long position is justified by three different types of entry conditions. Okay, so we have this flag pattern here, of which we have closed above this flag pattern. We have seen a retest into that zone, which ended around this area, and now we are seeing a bullish momentum. Okay, normally the best way to trade this conservatively will be to wait for the present candle to close, right? For this particular candle here to close, and then you enter upon confirmation that the weekly candle has closed green, right? So this is one. confirmation that we most likely will be seeing higher prices, and we might in fact actually close above the dome that's been pushing prices downwards for the past couple of weeks to months now. Now, the second reason why I'm most likely entering into a long position is because we have a close above candlestick. Now, a close above candlestick happens when you have a huge bullish momentum immediately after a sell momentum. Okay, exact like side by side. So we have a huge push down in price here, followed by a huge buying momentum, in which, if you know the anatomy of a candlestick, in which the bodies of the present candle actually closed above the close of the previous candle. Now that might sound a little bit confusing, but a red candlestick, if you look at the red candlestick, it closed at this point right here, whereas the bullish candlestick closed above it. Okay, now this is an intermediary candlestick entry condition because it's a little bit risky, and that is why I'm just using it as one of the reasons, okay, so that you understand why I'm justifying my entry for a long position. Now, if we don't use any of these entries, any of these patterns, okay, you don't want to use the flag pattern as your entry condition, you don't want to use the close above as your entry condition, you may want to use a bullish engulfing pattern, and I'll give you a simple example of why I'm considering this as well. Now, if you look at this right here, right at the bottom of this part where we had this reversal pattern, which is a double bottom pattern, we actually formed a very nice bullish engulfing pattern here, whereby we have two candles closing immediately after each other, where the second candle closes above the previous candle. So we have the first candle, the first green candle here closing, and the second green candle closes above the first candle. If you can see it, the first candle closed at this point and the second candle closed above it. Now these two scenario right here is called a bullish engulfing pattern for a candlestick, and if I were to trade this, I actually would have entered here. I think I showed some of my trades even when I entered here at that point, and entered, put my stop loss below at this point. I don't want to go into how to the conditions for entry your stop loss now, because then this video will be too long. But this bullish engulfing pattern served as a very good entry, because if you actually entered at the time I entered here, you would have made this kind of profits, raking all these pips up to this top point, right? So now if you look at it, the same scenario is kind of playing here, and even though the weekly candle is yet to close, right, even though the weekly candle is yet to close, you can see that we are beginning to have a bullish engulfing pattern form here, wherein we have a serious buying momentum towards the upside, followed by another green candle that is most likely going to close above of it. Now, with all that being said, I want you to listen and listen good, okay? We are still, if I'm to zoom out, we are still in this dreaded dome-like structure. We have not yet closed above resistance completely. So this is the time you want to do your dollar cost averaging if you want to consider entering into a long trade. This is just my own personal take on the market. It is not financial advice. I'm not saying you must do this. I'm just giving you an emergency lowdown on what is going on, because there's a lot of buzz. I have to let you be aware of the risk and let you be aware of the justifications as to why there's a lot of buzz, why Bitcoin is most likely going to see much more prices in the long run. Because most times when you see a close above, you're seeing a flag pattern, you're seeing a bullish engulfing pattern form, and you have those three conditions for just your entry, it's kind of looking good, but still trade with caution. If you're not the type that can tolerate risk, if I were you, and that's why I said as a conservative trader, what personally a conservative trader should do would be to wait upon the close of this resistance zone, wait for a retest, and then wait for some bullish momentum, and then ride the wave upward. That has not yet happened, so if you've not yet hopped in on the train, you are not yet missing out, as the internet will want to claim right now. All right, because conservative traders can still make huge money by being very careful about the risk. regardless, if you are the type that wants to maximize profits or whatever, and stuff like that. Personally, I like to maximize profits, so I'm doing my dollar cost averaging, and I'm entering the Bitcoin trade based off all of this. Also, I have set a very tight stop loss. If you want to see how I'm trading this, you might want to send me a DM, join my WhatsApp group, send me a DM. Let me know how you want to enter these trades. I can add you to my signal room where people see how I take my trades, and you can choose to be one of that. So it's something you can also benefit from. You can send me a DM if you're interested in that. Don't forget to like and share the video. I appreciate all of you that keep commenting on the videos. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. I would have done for Ethereum, but already this video is too long. But let's just leave it at that. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and bye.